In this video, I will explain another method for calculating the circular convolution of two different sequences. The method is known as the matrix multiplication method. In this method, the circular convolution of two sequences, let's say x1 and x2 of n, can be obtained by representing the sequences in the matrix form as shown below. So imagine that I have a sequence x1 of n and the values are x1 of 0, x1 of 1, x1 of 2 and x1 of 3. I'm taking, for the sake of simplicity, a 4-point sequence. Okay. Similarly, I have another sequence x2 of n and which also has 4 points. So they are x2 of 0, x2 of 1, x2 of 2 and x2 of 3. So in order to carry out the circular convolution, we should have the sequences of the same length. Okay. Now I'm going to find the circular convolution using matrix multiplication method. In order to do that, we will represent the second sequence in the form of a matrix. So the formulation of the matrix is given like this. Okay. So here we have 4-point sequences. So we have to create a 4 by 4 matrix. That is a matrix having 4 rows and 4 columns. First you write the first point of the second sequence, x2 of 0, that is this point. Then you write x2 of 1, that is this sequence. Then you write x2 of 2, this one. Then x2 of 3, this one. Okay. Then so this would be our first column of the matrix. So in order to get the second column, you just shift the first sequence circularly. So the x2 of 0 would be taking a place over here. So you will have x2 of 0 over here. Then you write x2 of 1 here, x2 of 2 here. Then you will have to write x2 of 3. You write that in the first row, x2 of 3. Okay. In order to get the next column, you take this column, then you rotate it. So this x2 of 0 will take this place. So I'm writing x2 of 0 over here, x2 of 1 over here, then x2 of 2 over here, and x2 of 3 over here. Okay. Then you will have to write this column rotated. That is, we will have to write x2 of 0 over here, then x2 of 1, x2 of 2, x2 of 3. Okay, so this forms our first matrix. Okay, so this is in fact a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, then what we have to do is we have to write the first sequence in the form of a column vector or column matrix. So we'll be writing x1 of 0, then write x1 of 1, then x1 of 2, then x1 of 3. Okay, and if you multiply these two matrices together, the value that you will get would be the circular convolution of these two sequences. So let me write it as y of 0, y of 1, y of 2 and y of 3. Okay, so this is another way of finding the circular convolution. So essentially what we have found is y of n is the circular convolution of x1 of n circularly convolved with x2 of n. Okay, now let's take an example. So given that x1 of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1 and x2 of n equal to 1, 1, 1. Okay, now we have to find a sequence y of n which is the circular convolution of x1 of n with x2 of n. Okay, so if you look at the sequence, the first sequence has 4 points. The second sequence has 3 points, so we have to make it a 4-point sequence by appending one more 0. Okay, now we have to form the matrix. So in order to form the matrix, I am choosing the second sequence. So you can choose either the first one or second one, but I am choosing the second one. Now I am writing the values of the second sequence to form the matrix. So I am writing it as 1 1 1 0. Okay, that is the first column. Then I am rotating this column, so I'm writing 1 1 1 then 0 over here. Then I'm rotating it again, so I will have 1 1 1 0. Then I'm writing 1 1 1 0. Okay, so this completes the formation of the first matrix. The second matrix would be the first sequence, so I'm writing 1 2 3 1 in the form of a column vector. Now we have to multiply these values, and if you do the multiplication, you will have the values as, you will have 1 into 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1, so this value would be 5. Then you have 1 plus 2, then 0, then 1, so you have 1 2 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 would be 4. Then you have to get the third row, so you have to add the first 3 values, the last value would be multiplied with 0. So it is actually 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 would be 6. Then you have the last one as 1 1 1, that is, you will be omitting only this one and you will add the other 3 values, so it is 2 plus 3 plus 1, again 6. Okay, so this is how we find the circular convolution of two different sequences using the matrix multiplication method. So the output y of n is a 4-point sequence, that is 5 4 6 6. So this is how we find the circular convolution of two different sequences using the matrix multiplication method. Thank you.